Hey, this is Dave Campbell, Dave Campbell Shorts. And if you didn't think I was crazy, I'm going to give you all the extra evidence you need to convince you, if that's what you want to say. Otherwise, you might be very interested in this. To me, it's fascinating how the Great Lakes satellite image, to me, is designed by God to show us humanity's state of being. The first thing I notice about it is obviously the hand of Michigan, right? That's the right hand turned up to look like a palm. And to the right of that, you have Lake Huron, which looks like a dove flying into the hand. You can see the head in the Saginaw Bay there, and the wings stretch out to the left and right, actually north and south. And then you have the Leviathan, or the big fish. Look at Lake Michigan, and it looks like a type of fish, and that can represent, the sea creature, the Leviathan or the devil. And then you have the Lake Superior, which has the face of a little boy looking to the northeast, and on the same head you have a picture of a wolf. You can see a wolf's head looking to the southwest. The little boy representing the future, and the wolf, or the shadowy figure, representing the past. Both represent knowledge because they're the head. Out of the head, you can see Lake Nipigon, which is never associated with the Great Lakes that I've ever heard. It looks like an egg, and you can see there's a ton of little islands in it. Let's see if I can get that closer. See that? And then if you look at right at the top of the head, it looks like a birth canal, and there's an egg, so that's kind of weird. To me, that symbolizes the creativity of our state of being, and the emergence of law, and the emergence of innovations and new knowledge. Okay, and then the bottom, you have the lakes, Ontario and Erie. This is probably the most striking feature to me, is that you have the left hand, which everybody has in their lifetime done this, right? Hey. You see that right there? That hand, it's grabbing hold of, see it, Lake Ontario? Well, that is the left hand, and that is representation of wisdom, and not letting the left hand know what the right hand is doing, and that kind of thought. And then another thing I noticed about this is it looks like the little boy is actually sitting on his fanny. So the Lake Michigan would be his backside, right? And then his knees would be bunched up around his chest, and his arms would be around his legs, and those are his feet. Lake Erie and Lake Ontario would be his feet. So it looks like he's just sitting there, and he's kind of in awe, looking to the northeast. And the east is where the sun rises, and that's where knowledge comes from. So to me, this whole thing is like represents our state of being, and in a way, if you study it, you can see that it looks like the whole thing would be set in motion, or like a whirlwind, a spinning from the northeast to the southwest, and the feet would be moving forward in that respect. But the vision of the little boy is ever looking forward, even though he's traveling in the past. The present time, as we know it, is fleeting. It's ongoing. The present is never definable except in a snapshot like this. So We use knowledge from the past to form our laws, and those are our guidons for our feet as we march forward. And water, the whole thing being a sign of water, is like the great sea, or the Great Lakes, the Great Sea. That's the prophecy. And our ability to discern and use knowledge is really our whole state of being depends on it. So I don't think this satellite imagery is a coincidence. I don't think that God made the Great Lakes just by accident. I think that they were shaped and formed by a loving God's hands. And yeah, so I hope you have found that interesting and enjoyable. Stay tuned.